What is up guys, it's your boy Solheim here, back with another classic WoW video for Season of Discovery. Now in this one I'm going to be showing you two different very good phase 3 gold farms, and I'm also doing this as part of my phase 3 preparation series. That means that right now in Season of Discovery, while recording this video, we are in the final days of phase 2. That also means that I'm playing on Classic Era right now on my level 60 character to be able to show you the farm. That being said, we have a trick to be able to do these farms at level 40, so you don't even have to be level 50 to do these farms. You can do them at level 40 or while leveling, but they do become drastically easier by being a higher level, and you can farm the farm way more effectively at level 50. That being said, if you do watch this before phase 3 comes out, then you can do this at level 40, and the benefits are there's absolutely nobody doing this, so you will have way less competition, but the pools take way longer. Now if you want to have access to these videos before they go public, do consider checking out my Classic WoW gold making guide, or also my Patreon through a link down below. Either getting this guide or supporting me on Patreon also gives you access to a private gold making community where I upload these videos before they go public. That way you can see these farms several days in advance of the farms going public. When it comes to gold farming, that means you can farm with way less competition. When it comes to investments, you can buy the items before they go up in price, and when it comes to crafting, you can craft them and make way more profit before that information once again goes public. Getting the guide or supporting me on Patreon is a very good way to support me directly as a content creator, and I think that in return I'll be able to help you make a lot more gold in the game as well. Now the guide itself, it's like a one-stop shop for gold making. As you can see, it's 157 pages. There's going to be a link down below in the video description or the pinned comment, and once again you do get access to that gold making community, but over on Patreon you will have access to ask me more questions, more like one-on-one type of coaching, and I will also be sharing my TSM ledgers on Patreon as well. When it comes to TSM ledgers, I have multiple different ones. We have one for cooking, crafting, flipping, and investments as well. So if you have TSM and you just want to grab those ledgers, copy and paste, then that's going to be on Patreon. So feel free to once again check out my gold making guide or the Patreon link through the links down below. Now with that being said, let's take a look at what we're farming for, why we're farming here, what the items are used in, and also how to use a trick to farm them at level 40 in phase 2, but it's mostly going to be a phase 3 farm. We are pulling level 50 plus mobs, so even in phase 3 this could be kind of difficult for some classes. Now let's go through this on one farm at a time. So the first farm is going to be a living essence farm. For this one you're killing iron tree stompers in Fellwood. Now both farms are going to be in Fellwood, so you can actually go to Fellwood, see if any of these two farms are available for you, and that way you have a better chance of actually having one farm available instead of going to a whole different zone, spending 10 minutes to go there, and then the farm is absolutely crowded. In this case you have two different farms really close to each other. Number one, Iron Tree Woods, where I am right now in Fellwood. This is like the place itself. You can farm a bunch of these in phase 3 if you don't have to use a trick. You can also just take laps around the lake itself, around the woods. You will have so many mobs here, it's absolutely ridiculous, and you will never run out of mobs. Now for the Stompers, as you can see, I'm standing in front of one right here. Let's take a look at what they drop. So when it comes to the Iron Tree Stompers, right here, as you can see on Wowhead, they can drop a lot of different items, including a vast array of different herbs. You can see a Dream Foil, which is actually really useful in phase 3, Ghost Mushroom, Golden Sansam, Blindweed, Heart of the Wild, and they can even drop major healing potions and superior healing potions. That being said, the one big item you're kind of here for is the Living Essence. Now Living Essence is used in a bunch of different crafts, all of which are phase 3 craft, because it has been confirmed that professions go all the way to max skill. So as you can see, a bunch of these crafts do require living essences, anywhere between 8, 6, and 2 and 4. Like a bunch of different crafts, including like the best enchants for example, they need living essence. So living essence is going to be a really expensive item, most likely in the next phase, and even like future phases as well. It's a pretty good item to farm for, and once again, that's going to be the jackpot item item, but you also get a lot of steady gold from all the other items that these mobs can drop, including, once again, herbs, healing potions, and mana potions. So once again, in phase 3, when you are level 50, you can just take laps around the lake, but currently if you want to farm this at level 40, or even if you just want to do AoE pulls at level 50 as well, there's a trick you can use. So I'm going to pull this guy, try to leash him all the way back, and show you guys a trick that you can use as any class to go for AoE pulls. Even if it's just like 2 or 3 mobs, you can pull as many as you want without the risk of taking any damage. I'm going to take a little bit of damage right now while moving to the spot. So this is the spot. You basically move on top of the tree, and then you can kite the mobs back and forth by using clever pathing. So the mobs is going to path all the way around this tree again. You just jump back onto the stump. You have to keep attacking the mobs, so they will reset, they will leash and reset. Now there's an evade spot right here. Like if you're standing too close, there's an evade spot, so make sure to go into the back of the tree and then jump up. If you stand too close, the mobs will start evading, and it's not going to work for you. So you jump to the back side of this tree, and then he's going to go on the right side of the tree, you go back up again, and if you ever have to reset the pool for any reason, you can literally stand here for about 10 seconds, the mobs will start evading, and the mobs will reset. So as you can see right now, the mob's health went back to full. So if you have to reset the pool for any reason, you actually have a reset spot. So you can try to pull 10, 20 mobs if you somehow can. The only thing is there's usually not that many mobs available this close to the spot, so you would have to kite them for a long time. That being said, if you are a hunter, kiting isn't really a problem. You just use multi-shot, and you can even use your pet to double the leash timer. So by using your pet and making the pet attack all the different mobs, you can easily pull all of these all the way back. You have like 4 mobs really close, but you can pull way more. You can even start bringing in the water elementals over here as well to pull to farm essence of water as well. So you have like water elementals at the lake here, just be a little bit aware of those. But you can, for example, pull all of these mobs as a hunter right here. You have 3 mobs plus 4, so 1 AoE pull of 7 mobs, but then you would have to kite them all the way back and then start the kill phase. Either way, that's a really good trick to use if you want to AoE pull in phase 3, or alternatively, once again, if you do have my gold making guide or you're a supporter on Patreon, you would have access to this video at the end of phase 2, so you can actually start doing this in phase 2 as well. Now that's farm number 1, just covered everything about that farm. Let's go over to, actually let me show you an example pull of this one as well. Like I just did the pull at level 60. I want to show you guys this being done at level 40 as well, just to show you that it is actually doable and people are farming this at level 40. So here we have a level 40 hunter in Season of Discovery. You can basically take a look at his action bars, and he's in combat right now, so there's 2 swords over his level, but you can pretty easily see that he is level 40. First of all, the mobs are level skull from him. He has explosive shot, he has all the traps, even trap launchers, so you will see a bunch of like Season of Discovery items and Season of Discovery runes being used in his pull, and he's kiting, I don't know how many mobs this is, but anywhere between 4 and 5. I would say, in this pull, at level 40, pulling between 4 and 5 level 54 mobs at level 40 in Season of Discovery. Now, as he's demonstrating here, you want to be really careful about the evade spot, so going too close in front of the tree, the mobs start evading, so you want to like jump back and forth on the back side of the tree. Where he went just now, the mobs do start to evade, so you want to make sure you just focus on the back side of the stump and the back side of the tree, and then just literally jump back and forth, kite the mobs back and forth. You can even use the evade spot every now and then as a hunter, even now for example, to group the mobs back up. It's a good way to kind of force them back in place if you for some reason have to. But once again, you can start doing this at level 40. The kill phase does take a lot longer, but once again, you can still do the pull, and then you start pulling multiple mobs at the same time, and the kill phase as a hunter, you just do like anywhere between 10 and 50 damage. Sometimes the white hits are about 100 damage as well, so it's just about pulling as many as you can, because the kill phase is super easy. You just juggle the mobs back and forth. Now next up we have another farm, once again in Fellowwood, a little bit further south this time, and we're focusing on Jadefire Satyr. Now at this camp you have a lot of different Jadefires. Once again, this is the location, all the way south, like I don't know, middle south, Middle southwest is just south of Jadefire. You have a bunch of satyrs here. You have Jadefire rogues, you have a Jadefire Fellshorn, and you have some stealthed mobs as well. If you go here below level 50, be aware of the stealthed mobs. Even at level 50, do be aware of the stealthed mobs. Now, once again, they are level 50. We can get to level 50 in phase 3. That means this farm is going to be very easy to do as pretty much any class in phase 3. We also, once again, do have a way to do this farm right now in phase 2 as well. As you can see, the Jadefire Shadowstalker level 52 and is stealthed patrolling around this place. Now let's talk about the loot table from these mobs. So we can go over to Wowhead, take a look at that. They dropped, first of all, corrupted soul shards if you have that quest for the Songflower. They can also drop elixir of the mongoose recipe, 280 alchemy, and increases agility by 25 and chance to get a critical hit by 2% for 1 hour. This elixir is going to be absolutely incredible, but as you can also see, it has a 4% drop chance. So this elixir is not going to be hard to get by any means. That being said, if you do pre-farm this or farm it early, you can have the recipe early and start making bank from the elixir. You also have Mage Weave Cloth, Demonic Runes, and Feather Cloth. Feather Cloth could be an absolutely great way to farm and make gold. You also make superior healing potions, greater mana potions, scrolls of agility, and scrolls of strength. So those are going to be really good and sell for a lot of gold as well, and it's going to be a really steady and really good gold farm with the chance of getting Feather Cloth, which is like jackpot item number 1, and Elixir of the Mongoose recipe, jackpot item number 2. They also have access to a bunch of greens, blues, and epics as always, so you can get epics from this place as well, and overall it's just a really good farm. Now, in terms of how to do the farm at level 50, you probably just want to kill the mobs normally, like 1 by 1, 2 by 2, AoE pulling, whatever you are doing, you can do that. Now, what I'm doing personally, if I want to just pull as many mobs as I can without risking dying at all, you can bring them back to kind of a kiting spot. We've had a couple of these, and it's the same mechanic once again. You pull him over here and jump on top of this object, and he's going to patrol all the way around the object. And then you can just walk back and you keep juggling on top of this root right here, and every time you just jump to the right, he's going to patrol all the way around. And when you jump onto the root, he's going to patrol up and try to walk on top of the root again. So imagine doing something like this as a Boomkin in phase 3 at level 50, or even being a Shadow Priest. This makes Shadow Priest able to pull more than just one mob at a time, and you can pull probably between 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as many mobs as your mana can handle basically. And you can even use something like Mind Seer or any AoE to kill the mobs. Being a Boomkin as well, you can multi-dot and use Hurricane. Hurricane is getting both a buff to the damage done, a nerf to the mana cost, and they're taking away the cooldown, or at least lowering the cooldown. So you can be a Boomkin, pull a lot of mobs in one pull and hurricane them down in this place through AoE. So a lot more classes can suddenly start AoE farming here, instead of just having to be a hunter or having to be a mage. Any class with AoE ranged abilities can use that spot right there and kill these mobs in AoE pulls. Now, once again, as this video is being made as my phase 3 preparations is like part of my phase 3 video series, here's a way to do this farm at level 40 as well. If you do have my gold making guide or are supporting me on Patreon, you can start doing this a couple of days before phase 3 comes out, and you can do this at level 40 to pre-farm the recipes, pre-farm the Feather Cloth, even the mana potions, the healing potions. I think the big item to farm for right now though in phase 2 would be the elixir of the mongoose recipe, in which case you can once again farm this right now. The footage you can see on screen is a level 40 hunter in Season of Discovery using the same mechanic that I just told you about to AoE pull these mobs. He's pulling 3 at a time because once again it can get a little bit scary here and you don't have the most room to work with. So sometimes the satyrs do get a little bit close, but the higher level you get, the easier this will be, right? But it is doable at level 40, and more than just doable, it's pretty good. But yeah, there we go, that's the video. Once again, if you do want to have early access to these gold making videos, gold farms, investments, crafting, whatever you name it for gold making, check out my Patreon or my gold making guide through the link down below. I will also start making one video per month exclusive on Patreon. That means that there's going to be one video available to patrons every single month that will never go to YouTube. That could be a gold farming video, investment video. It's just going to be one video per month at least that is going to Patreon. That way you guys can get something extra back for supporting me over there as well, and it allows me to keep some of the information somewhat hidden or somewhat private, and that way we all make more gold from it as well. Plus, Patreon is once again a really good way to support me directly as a content creator. You can check out my gold making guide through the pop-up in the top right screen right now, and the links to both my gold making guide and my Patreon is also down below in the video description and the pinned comment. As always, thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you have any other gold farms for phase 3, and that's pretty much it. Leave a like on the video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again very soon.